We will be speedrunning through all the 17 tips I know, which will help you in every total war. Number 1. Only run away from units if your unit symbol is lighter than theirs. Units that get caught while running away will have 0 melee defense. Don't put units with high charge bonus on the wall. Aim at corners when you're manually firing your artillery, so you can hit the wall or tower multiple times. In naval battles, make sure you get a lot of artillery ships, because you can target the enemy ships and break them from a distance, and afterwards you can ram them because you got a lot of HP. If you're playing a multiplayer battle, make sure your battle difficulty is at normal. Otherwise you won't be able to see the arrow tower distances, which is very important. Dogs are the perfect unit in land battles to counter horse archers. The best units to upgrade with your leftover funds are the one with high health, high armor, high melee defense and high weapon damage. The formula for the chance of your unit hitting the enemy target is base chance plus melee attack minus melee defense. The minimum chance of your unit hitting an enemy target is 8% and the maximum is 90%. The ideal range to shoot from with your archers for maximum damage is 120 meters. By the way, if you want to see me go more in depth on these topics, go to the description and you will see the videos linked to the topics. We are already at number 15 in just 1 minute. But next up we got getting attacked in one side will give you a 10% debuff to your melee attack and melee defense. That means getting attacked in both sides will give you a 20% debuff. And getting attacked in the rear will give you a 30% debuff. So if your unit is fully surrounded, it will have a 50% debuff. So that will have a massive impact. If you're attacking a bar map, make sure to destroy the walls with your artillery. And make sure to do this manually. It will save you a lot of ammo. When you're attacking a city, make sure to focus at corners, because those will give you nice angles for your archers. Understand that these big buildings can break and kill a lot of units around it, but that also counts for a lot of regular buildings. When you put your archers in melee mode, they will take out their daggers and it will look like they are out of ammo. Start putting cheap units on the wall to soak up the scorpion bolts from the attacking siege towers. This way they won't shoot at your stronger and more expensive units. Start putting your towers reversed on top of your artillery crew. This way the siege towers will absorb the horse archers ammo that is coming at the artillery crew, and this will also block the charge from the potential cavalry charges, and then combine it with one unit to guard it. Make sure to always have your archers at the left side of your army, because this way you will get the non-suicide shots for that extra damage. Make sure one person in your team brings tortoises so you can break down the wall. The factions that you see now on the screen are the only one that can bring tortoises. When you're attacking a bar map, make sure to burn down the towers with the torches from your infantry, and you can do that even though you're not in the settlement. So don't waste your artillery or archer ammo on the towers. The next tip is always hit the like button on the video. At the start of the battle, make sure to put guard mode on and fight wall off on all of your missile units, and turn off formation attack on all of your infantry. This is very essential so you're not pulling through unintentionally, and especially at the breaches. It is very useful to get guerrilla factions on attack so you can guerrilla deploy the equipment like siege towers or tortoises. If you want to move your whole army in position, you can just drag it, and if you want to change the angle of the army, make sure to hold control while you're dragging your army and then move your mouse around. If your unit is about to get charged by cavalry, make sure to face it and brace by pressing hold on a unit, and this way they will lower their shields and brace for the charge. The other option is to throw pila while they charge you, but then your unit will not be braced, so it will take more damage. Teamwork is key, and communication will help you a lot with that. You can do that through Discord, or you can draw lines with these tools, or ping the enemy with F5. The other archer tip is that before starting an archer fight, you should use 50 to 75% of your ammo. And when you're shooting your archers, make sure to hit the non-shoot side. But we should all know that by now. Strategies are more important than micro. You can have the best micro in the world, but if you have the wrong strategy or the wrong mindset, you will lose the battle. Now when the archer fight is taking place, you should start dodging. How does it work? Make sure your archer unit is standing in a thin line and move back and forth, and this way most of the arrows will miss the target. For slingers, especially in land battles, make sure you spread out your unit very thin. This way you will take less damage and deal more damage. The only hoplites and spears that are worth bringing are now visible on the screen, and you can pause it to take a closer look. Don't take archer fights if you know you're going to lose them. How will that help you in the battle? Exactly. Just save them to shoot infantry or wait for the right moment. Make sure to use the pila on your units, and the easiest way to do that is by putting a unit in shoot wall in front of you, and make sure your unit behind can pila the enemy unit. And preferably move to the right so you can hit the non-shield side. Make sure you always select the strategist general ability for the second wind to refresh your units, and the battle rhythm for extra melee stats. Train yourself to use the general abilities by selecting an elite spam army like Suebi. Next up is make sure your unit is always in a winning engagement. How do you know that? Just hover over the unit and the game will tell you if it's a high threat, low threat, medium threat, or when you're in a battle, the game will tell you if it's losing or winning. If your unit has a decent charge bonus, make sure to psycho charge. Or psycho charge if your unit is getting tired. Stop spreading out your micro too thin. A lot of people think they're very good at microing, but focusing on one place and just on one task will give you much greater results. We all know the different fatigue stages, but the more exhausted that your unit gets, the more impact it will have on your unit. And here you will see the impact that it will have, so make sure to pause it if you want to take a closer look. Units with loose formation are glitchable, and you can make them do the spaghetti line again, which was the old meta. If you kill the artillery crew or the scorpion crew, you will get a chevron on your unit. So if they're not protecting their artillery anymore, make sure to kill the artillery crew and your unit will have better stats. And the other artillery trick is, if your teammate's artillery is out of ammo, you can dismount your artillery and get on his artillery. But the only way to be able to shoot again is by pressing hold on your artillery crew once they mounted the artillery, and then you will be able to target everything again. Now you're basically going to change the game files, so you have to go to the Roam 2 scripts and change the battle camera type from 1 to 2. And this way you'll be able to zoom out way further than normal people can, and this will give you a better overview of the battle, and this will help you a ton in LAN battles. Because of this, you can also zoom in much further and make those epic screenshots. If you press Ctrl F, you will get rid of the trees and you will get a better overview of the battle map. If you press download on the link in the description, you will be able to play War Thunder for free. It's the best combat game ever made if you want to take command over 2500 tanks, planes, helicopters and ships, and it's now available for free on PC and console. You can play as the biggest nations on Earth. You can even use armored cars from the 1920s to the fighter jets and the main battle tanks of today. The realistic graphics and sound effects will make this game come to life. And trust me, it will feel like you're commanding one of the most powerful war machines of our time. So it's really easy to immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder with those incredibly detailed vehicles. You can join the worldwide community of over 70 million players in epic PvP battles, and you can get this breathtaking experience that is War Thunder for free and get unmatched high quality content, and there's simply no game better suited for fans of military history. And there's a game mode for every type of player. They offer 3 distinct modes. One of them is fast paced matches, which is called arcade mode. You have the more challenging simulator mode, and you got realistic mode, which strikes a balance between intensity and authenticity. And I like that you can choose which one you prefer the most. So if you want to have the limited time available massive bonus pack that will give you 100,000 silver, a 7-day premium account and much more, make sure to use the link in the description. Now for your artillery, if you press insert, you can start manual firing, and if you press page up and page down, you can change from which RDPs you're shooting from. Camels can't shoot backwards like normal horse archers can, so yeah, they're basically useless. The units that you see now on the screen are the only ones with 5 pila volleys. If you go in hoplite wall with your hoplites, you will get a 5 bonus versus infantry, so always do that. And make sure you give double attack orders with your hoplites. Getting in testudo formation will give your units an extra 35 missile block chance on top of your 50 you already got as a Roman unit. This only counts for Swaby, but make sure you select the special general ability, because the 2 abilities will give you a massive charge bonus that you can only use once and a massive armor piercing bonus. If you give your unit battle rhythm, it will start running faster, so this is very nice if you need to catch a unit that's running away from you. If you select your artillery and hold Alt, you can select an area that you want to shoot at, and even though you can't see the unit, you can guess where they are and throw in a sneaky shot, which people don't expect. Now there's no reason to use explosive rounds. Use standard rounds to focus at infantry because it's much more accurate, and use fire rounds to break down buildings or walls. Here are some nice and balanced land battle maps to play on. Just pause it if you want to. The Iceni ambushers are the only one that can spread out in the spaghetti line and have 5 pila volleys. And just so you know, attacking siege towers have scorpions on top of them with 23 ammo, so they can do quite some damage. Talking about scorpions, make sure to put your settlement size always at large, not on extreme, because that will give the arrow towers scorpion bolts, which is really overpowered. You can put units on buildings in this game, and these are the buildings that you can put units on. Stop breaking parts of the wall next to each other with a tortoise, because this way one of the tortoises will glitch out and will not continue to break that wall, so you have to do it one by one. If you want to make sure your archers are shooting immediately, make sure to move them in the direction you want to shoot at, and then target the unit. Again, if you want to see me go more in depth, watch the other videos. Trust me, you will like them. Don't pop your abilities like Headhunt or Battle Rhythm right before or right after the charge. It will cancel out your charge bonus, so make sure you pop your ability and then charge the unit, and then all your stats will stack on top of each other, and your units will kill everything in their path. Now you guys got to stop shooting units on the wall from this angle. If you shoot them from the absolute back, it's alright, you will do a lot of damage, but shooting it from the sides, you will waste a ton of ammo, because your arrows will hit the wall or they will go over the wall, and at least 50% of your shots will miss. Stop spamming movement orders at the breaches, especially with cavalry, because it will end up taking more time and you will lose more units. Camel units got cavalry scare tactics, but don't think this will make them a good counter against cavalry, because they are not. They're the best at fighting infantry because of their insane mass. The best way to use pikes in land battles is by having a baseline of very cheap pike units, and this forces your enemy to attack your sides where you have your elites and hard-hitting units stacked. Charging your enemy before your infantry hits their their front line can get you some great results. Elephants in siege battles are the best on defense of course, but you got to stay away from pikes, units in shield wall, for your spear units and archer units. And use them late game because the enemy morale will be at the lowest and elephants got the scare ability. Make sure to fight your battles in column formations, but I won't go too deep into this. Mid-tier units are most of the times the most cost effective and safest units to bring. Place your scorpion units in the long streets and focus down the elite units because they will give you the most value. Sally-outs are getting very powerful because you can avoid your enemy from shooting you in the non-shield side. Horse archers and cavalry are late game very powerful in land battles, but also for siege battles because you can ping pong late game and get a ton of kills. If the enemy missile units are standing close to the front line and you got peltas or for your spear units, then make sure to zone them away with those units. For your spear units are stronger than you think, just as your daily reminder. And don't throw away your low tier units just because they're cheap. Use them how they should be used, by absorbing Pila, missile fire, etc. Now don't forget to download War Thunder with the link in the description and receive your massive bonus pack. And just remember, it's limited time only. And comment your own tip for the community. And let's try and get this video to 300 likes.